everyone, welcome back. I want to quickly show you guys something that changed my perspective when it came to alternative hair. Some of you guys know my hair story, and I've been wanting to make a YouTube video explaining more about my hair loss story, a few more details, some different stories, which I plan to do when I find some time in this motherhood life and, doing some different reviews and stuff. I just haven't found the time to do so. But one thing I can let you guys know is I did try every type of extension you can think of, and then I tried some add-ons such as little clip-ins, bangs, ponytails, and then at one point I was so fed up with my hair loss after I had my third baby that I went and purchased 2 budget-friendly synthetic wigs from a local wig shop, and they were not realistic in the scalp. They had permatease, but they were able to give me the coverage that I wanted, the hair that I never had, because I just never had a lot of hair to work with. I didn't have a lot of hair up front, especially because of my hairline and the way that it is. And so all of a sudden I had these bangs. I mean, it was amazing for me, but I had a hard time because the scalp wasn't realistic. I couldn't do parting. I couldn't do a lot of things, and I was determined to kind of keep it on the down low at that point. So I always got brunette shades, and I never told a soul. So I would use headbands and other things to dress up the wigs and camouflage anything that seemed a little unrealistic on the wig itself. But then it got to the point later where I started to look into the world of toppers. I did a lot of research. I looked online. I didn't want to spend a lot of money because I had never really purchased a lot of alternative hair, and I didn't understand the value of it at that point. Also, our situation with 5 children, me being mostly stay at home, I just didn't feel like I could financially afford the very, very expensive toppers that you see out there. But I wanted something that was nice, something that had great views, great feedback. I decided to try out the Noriko Milan by Rene of Paris. I remember ordering this wig in, let's say, February, almost 3 years ago, and we actually went out of town when it was to arrive, and I was dying because I never had experienced hair mail that everybody talks about. The amazing hair mail that everybody loves. It's just so exciting to get hair mail. It's like you're a little girl on Christmas morning waiting for Santa to put presents under your tree. It's so exciting to get hair mail, and it was my first time. It's fairly discounted. I was just so excited, but even with a discount, for me at that moment in time, it seemed like a huge splurge. I was nervous to tell my husband. In fact, I didn't talk about my hair loss a lot to my husband because I still was in that raw feeling of just insecurity. It was just a very soft spot for me, so I didn't express my feelings of how I felt about my hair loss. And so the concept of wearing a wig or a topper was something he knew I had looked into. He always knew that I wore extensions and add-ons and I played with hair. He's so non-observant that he didn't know when, because I went and did my hair and he didn't pay attention. He never knew what a topper was. I never discussed it with him. So the purchase of the topper was something that seemed excessive because he didn't know what it was, the value, and what it would do for me. So anyway, long story short, to get on with it, I wanted to talk about that topper, the Noriko Milan, because it was kind of a life-changing thing for me, getting a topper, something different from a wig, because I did have some hair, not a lot of it, not a lot to work with. And I did try wigs, but they weren't, your top-notch wigs. They didn't have a lace front. They didn't have a mono, silk, or lace top. So those are just some things that I had experienced. So traveling into the world of toppers was just so amazing for me. And I wanted to share that first topper with you today. We went out of town to Bryce Canyon. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it was amazing. It was beautiful. I loved it. I was just waiting to get home to get to this topper. I was so excited, a little taken back. I didn't know if people were going to notice it. I know that a lot of gals who are first starting out wearing alternative hair, that's their biggest concern. They're wondering, is everyone gonna know? And I also had those same feelings. I actually asked my neighbor to grab the package for me because I was nervous. I didn't want anybody to take the package. And, you know, like I said, it was discounted, but for us it was a splurge. And I didn't know what to expect. So I ordered the Noriko Milan in chocolate brown. And the reason why I went with chocolate brown is because I didn't know what I could blend my hair with. I had never blended a topper into my bio hair, and I didn't know how, you know, a basic brown head of hair would mix with something with a lot of different shades and highlights. So I went for a basic chocolate brown, and then I decided, even though it was synthetic, if I needed to color my hair to match that basic chocolate brown, it would be easier than if I ordered a color with that was, you know, had a variety of highlights and lowlights and shades. So anyway, I want to show you this topper. This is the Noriko Milan, and it is in immaculate condition. One thing I noticed about the Noriko hair fibers is that they stay nice for a very long time, especially if you care for it properly. And this topper is no exception. It feels good, and it, you know, granted, I did wear a lot of hats still. I wore other types of pieces. I would alternate between my wigs. So this piece was not a daily wear. However, I did play with this a lot. I wore it a lot. If you guys travel back into the first videos that I started to make here on YouTube, they're just like 1-minute videos that were created for Instagram. You'll notice that this Noriko Milan is in a lot of them. So go check those out and tell me what you guys think. It was just life-changing for me because most of you guys know I did go to beauty school, and the unfortunate thing with me is I didn't have a lot of hair to work with, even though I had a love for hair and hairstyling. So once I received this, it was so amazing that I could do multi-directional parting. I could style in a variety of different ways. The scalp looked real. I had front fringe, I had bulk, I had length, I had coverage, so I didn't have to worry about my thin, sparse areas. It kind of helped conceal my thinning and very far back hairline that looked like a receding hairline. It just did a number of things for me, and I felt like the synthetic hair looked real. I could blend it with my halo extension that was human hair, and then my own human hair, and it looked well. I was very blown away by toppers at that point. So I can say that this specific topper kind of launched my ability to grow, to gain peace and comfort with my hair loss. It also gave me the inspiration to start sharing on Instagram and social media the different styling ideas that you can achieve with alternative hair. So I am going to include this review in Amber's favorites because I can say that this little gal just, you know, it changed everything for me. So as you guys know, toppers are meant to put over the crown and top of your head to help you go in between hair colors if you have a lot of regrowth, add volume, add bulk. A lot of companies refer to toppers as volume extensions. They refer them as crown extensions. It's another clip-in piece. It may not be an extension that's clipped under your hair, but it's clipped on top, and it can do a number of things for you. If you have short hair and you wear extensions, a topper is going to blend your short hair and the extension hair a lot better. I don't know if you guys have seen people with extensions in, and you'll see a big old step because their hair is thick and short. A topper is just going to blend all of that together. So there's a number of different things that toppers can assist with, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have hair loss, thinning hair, or alopecia to be a candidate for a topper. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about this base construction and then go on. Of course, this is synthetic hair. So this cute style, the slight swing to the ends, that is there at all times. You wash your synthetic hair with synthetic hair care products. You let it dry, and that hair is going to have the same style that it came with. Take note, it's wise to use a wide tooth comb on your synthetic fiber. It's going to help the fibers look and feel better longer. It's not going to stretch those fibers. It's not going to damage them. So wide tooth comb with synthetic hair is your friend. So the cap construction for Noriko Milan is a monofilament top. This is a single monofilament top, and then you have extra wefts around that monotop for added hair, added volume, added bulk, and it's a fantastic size. Now with Noriko Milan, you have this very back section around the very far crown area that does have just a very slight amount of permatease, and that just gives you a lot of volume in that crown area in the very back. This area where the monofilament is gives you room for multi-directional parting, styling ability, all sorts of things, and I had a blast. I just can't express how much fun and how creative I got with this Noriko Milan. You have your polyurethane strip up at the front. If you wanted to remove this clip and use this polyurethane with a little bit of adhesive, you can do that. There's polyurethane type tape that you can use, and you put that right on the strip, kind of tack it down to your front hairline, and it helps make your topper stay put. You have your pressure sensitive clips. The product weight for the Noriko Milan is 4 ounces. The front of this topper is 8.5 inches. The crown is 15 inches. And the nape is 13.5 inches. Overall, it reaches like 13.25 inches. I remember quite specifically that this topper was chocolate brown. However, I couldn't find much chocolate brown online. It's just a very rich, basic, chocolatey brown shade. I felt like it matched every time I colored my hair. It matched your basic brunette extensions. So this is monofilament construction, but they are hand-tied knots so that you have a very realistic looking top. It looks like the hair is growing out of your head. Well, I'm gonna put her on and show you guys what she looks like. First of all, I'm gonna add a few fibers because my hair has grown out and it is quite sparse. So we will add some hair fibers. It's not really working. That was dark brown, this is medium brown. Sometimes you can mix your fibers. Since I don't have a lot of hair at the hairline, a lot of the time I would brush my hair forward and then apply the topper and then style. With the topper on top, it really doesn't matter what your crown and the top of your head looks like underneath because it's covered. So it might look a little odd having me brush my hair forward, but that just gives me more hair to work with once the topper is on. You'll see in a lot of those old videos, I often went like this. I looked a little bit like Cousin It, but it just gave me more of my own bio hair to integrate with the topper. Some people line their toppers right up to the hairline. Some people push the topper back a little bit, and then they have quite a bit of their own bio hair to blend in. I just put it on, and then depending on the style I'm trying to achieve, I will move the topper wherever it might need to go. My own bio hair is longer than this topper right now, so it wouldn't be ideal for me at this moment in time. But like I said, I did use extensions sometimes, and that would blend a longer head of bio hair in a little bit better. But look how fantastic this topper is, and look how well it blends. Look how stringy my hair is below. I do like to blend my bio hair with longer hair toppers, but this gives you an idea of how amazing this topper is, and how from going from full cap wigs without a scalp to this Noriko Milan, it really did just change my perspective with alternative hair. Oftentimes I would twist my hair back, I would braid it, and you can do that when you integrate the front of your hairline with your topper, or wigs for that matter. Don't mind my stringy ends, but I'm going to show you guys a turnaround of this cute Noriko Milan. Here's the front. Here's the crown area and the part. And like I said, I have my bio hair blended in, and it sat just fine when I put it on there. If you felt like you needed to blend in that front edge a little bit, you can use a little bit of hair fiber. You can use a little bit of eyeshadow. There's also a product called Roots by Boost and Blend. It's a root cover-up. I love that for blending in those front edge and rims. Anyway, here is the Noriko Milan. It changed my life. You can find this specific topper at a lot of different wig shops for quite a great deal, and a lot of times they have discount codes, which brings down the cost of this topper quite a bit. So if you are in the search for a synthetic topper, your first topper, I highly recommend the Noriko Milan. I feel like the fibers are fantastic. I feel like the monotop looks great, especially for the price point. I have nothing but good to say about this Noriko Milan. And I do love this chocolate brown shade. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And those front edge and rims. Anyway, here is the Noriko Milan. It changed my life. You can find this specific topper at a lot of different wig shops for quite a great deal, and a lot of times they have discount codes, which brings down the cost of this topper quite a bit. So if you are in the search for a synthetic topper, your first topper, I highly recommend the Noriko Milan. I feel like the fibers are fantastic. I feel like the monotop looks great, especially for the price point. I have nothing but good to say about this Noriko Milan. And I do love this chocolate brown shade.